All right, take me to the consumer confidence numbers that came out of Westpac today. They show the consumer confidence really falling off a cliff. Now, that is, almost, if you like, the opposite to where the business conditions, even business confidence is right now. Explain why there's this disconnect by what business is seeing and feeling and what the consumer is feeling right now.
Well, the consumer's looking at interest rates and saying this is going to be awful. Whereas what we're trying to look at is not so much how the consumer feels, but how is the consumer spending. I think an interesting way to think about this is we look at retail, wholesale in the business survey, very strong. We look at business confidence in retail and wholesale, very weak. So this is sort of a disconnect between what are consumers worried about, and they're worried about interest rates, etc., and what are they actually doing? Well, they're still spending. And part of that is associated with you've got more immigration, you've got some wage increases, and so temporarily they're still spending. And so RBA, I think, will look more, not so much about what the consumer's worried about, but they'll look more at what the consumer's actually doing.
And we even saw that, if I jump in there, we even saw that today, the ABS stats coming out on that household spending and what was coming through there. That gives you that. So what you're saying is they might not be confident, but the reality is while they've got work and while they've got savings, they're continuing to spend. And that's why the business, confidence is not diminishing at this stage.
Yeah, that's exactly right. In fact, the business trading, how much sales they're making is going up. That's what's making them feel happy. The only people that aren't feeling necessarily happy in terms of confidence, as I said, is retail and wholesale.
Yes.
So that's not to say that we're not going to have a big slowdown in retail. We will. It's just that it's not happening yet. And until the RBA gets signs that it might be starting, they're going to probably keep going. And so that's the sort of conflict that we've got. Now, let's face it, our forecast, which we sort of semi-released today, say that at the back end of this year, essentially growth stops. So we still have growth during the course of the year of about 0.7, but that's about half what the Reserve Bank's already expecting. So we're more worried about the consumer in the back end of this year. But what we're saying is just at present, they're still spending.
It's going to be interesting to watch it. Alan Oster, always good to have you on the program. Many thanks for your time today.
Thanks, Ross.